All right. Well, today I am painting this wonderful Space Wolves Dreadnought Bjorn or something. So I've got him all based out, and now I'm just going through or I've got the first color down, and now I'm just going through and base coating some of the other elements so that they can get to the right colors easier. So this is our first ever live stream. We've never done this before. So hopefully you can see everything okay and um, we can have some fun and get some painting done and say hello in the chat. Ben is actually here moderating so I can keep painting and still talk with you as I lose my voice. Ben, say hello to the wonderful person watching with us. Hello, all. So, what should we talk about? We could invite them to listen on our super fun role playing. Oh no. I would shot that down awful fast. Yep. I don't know. I just there's something about public role playing that intimidates me quite a bit. So, besides, I'm very much against rules lawyers, and I know there's a lot out there. So. We don't have to worry about that. Our primary rule is rule one. I know, but you put it out there and they're going to respond. They're going to have something to say. So I don't want to hear it, so I'd just rather not put it up there. That works best for me. Yep. It is just a pretty quiet Sunday, isn't it? It is a very quiet. The scores Bjorn is fell-handed because he fell on his hand and broke it, or like his hand fell asleep, or I would be willing to bet it has something to do with the fact that he probably lives in this suit. Oh, that could be too. I don't know. I don't play Warhammer. I don't follow the lore. I just like painting them. They are so much fun to paint. Right.
Death Watch Chaplain.
I don't. Is that the chaplain?
So here are the two pictures you sent. Lieutenant is Death Watch. Feel free to scrape the basing off. There's the one we scraped the basing off. He's got a gun and a sword. The other one has a gun and a staff. So that makes him a chaplain.
All right. So, in case you're wondering why I am only putting cream all over, it's because I plan to use it as the um, base for the gold. Um, basically, when it comes to metallic paints, it's always better if you have an undercoat for them to stick to.
Let's check. Yep.
Oh, yeah, that's much better. I'm going to switch and paint him.
Ah!
Well, this one requires too much minor detail. Oh no, he's falling off. Get him a little more secure on that handle. There we go. Okay. So, have the wrong brush. Ben, you can't keep moving that on me. Making my reference photo jump. We've got a few more viewers coming in. Hello, welcome. We're glad you're joining us. Excited to be painting today. My reference photo's gone again.
Hello, Scotland.
Hello. Oh, I'm so glad you made it back. Yeah, we had the wrong, we had AM entered instead of PM and really meant PM. We were sleeping at 3 a.m. when you were on. Sorry, but I'm so glad you came back and found us. Hi, how are you doing? Anybody else painting today? Or just me? I paint every single day, so I really don't mind. Gotta keep that up.
You're gonna keep complaining to me because I'm gonna keep having to pull up chat.
Okay,
Oh
well,
no, trust me, AM PM it does matter. We are not AM people.
no. Actually, the funny thing is, we were actually just going to bed at 3 a.m. Um, I am the biggest night owl you will ever find. So I definitely do not like getting up in the morning. Oh, terrain's fun though. Um, that's pretty much what Ben lives for. Well, I shouldn't say it that way. Actually, he lives more for the terrain, and he actually just did a really cool build.
This one off for a second. I don't know how much you can see of that, but still work in progress.
Yeah,
I'll get done with it sooner or later.
it's been sitting for a while. Oh,
Sitting for a while is my middle name. Thank you.
I absolutely love my contrast beams, especially for commissions like this is. What is?
Nothing. I'm just poking around.
Okay.
Never done this before. Trying to figure out chat.
Yeah, well,
Been a moderator, so
luckily we have a nice small group, so it should be pretty easy for now.
we get quiet if we can.
I
Don't
do.
focus.
I do. I get into concentration mode. Oh, especially this one. I absolutely love the buyer who commissioned this one. I've and I, of course, want to make sure that it looks wonderful for him. Almost had a big accident there.
Supposed to still film around that time.
Oh, anything in a GW pod is going to go down. So Oh no.
I don't know what.
Uh, I don't know what happened. It just told me we weren't live and totally reset.
Oh, that's weird.
Now it says we've only been live for 10 seconds.
Well, this says you're still live, and we've seen everything.
Okay, well, hopefully we're still all good. So, um, don't know what happened with that. This is still has a good count. Fabulous. All right, thank you. All right, so we are still alive. Still can't see my reference photo. That's pretty
There you go.
long purity seal. Ooh, a little audio drop.
Yeah, I saw that.
That's not good. We'll have to figure that one out.
Well, we're just getting started. It's not like we've got the most amazing equipment on the face of the earth.
No, not yet. But we're working on it. Promise we'll improve. Feel like we've already kind of started on that. So, I guess the big question is, what do y'all want to see or talk about? Should I be doing more of a tutorial telling you step by step what I'm doing and why, or shall we chit chat about the general world? Definitely don't want to talk about the state of affairs of the world because that's a scary stuff subject. Maybe good D&D stories. Um, I don't know. Are you more Warhammer or War Game or D&D? Let me know how you got into miniature painting. Um, what led you here? For us, it was D&D, but I'm in love with miniature painting. So even though I don't play Warhammer, I still love painting the figures and have a great time with that. Tutorials are always good. Great. All right. Well, what I'm really doing is just kind of mostly getting everything based out. When I put on contrast paint, like you saw with the black and even with the uh, leather skirt here, what I did was more of slather it on. You can see we've got a little mess going there that I'll clean out. And then I just let it do its thing. I hear a lot of people on YouTube say, a lot of professional painters say that they don't use contrast paint. Another trick that I do that you might have seen with this is after I add it, I'll wet my brush and just kind of lead it where I want it to go and kind of remove it a little bit more. So, and now I'm just kind of base coating a lot of the other colors. So, for example, anything that's gold, I'm putting this beige on because metallics stick better to the gold.
To the beige.
To the, metallics work better if you have some form of underpainting. It doesn't necessarily matter which color, and you can get different effects by doing different colors. So, like if I did a green under the gold, it would make it look older. If I do a brown, it just makes it darker and richer. Um, but I actually have painted several figures in this commission. This is the fourth one, and I have one more to do, but that's for actually for a different army. Um,
Shall we show off a minute?
sure. So I am I'm basically matching that one, and there I use more of a brighter gold.
This is your
So
fifth one, Beb.
no, that's from the other order.
Still the same army, I'll bet.
Well, yeah, it's the same army. So these are part of his death watch, and these are the ones that I've finished so far. And you can see that gold is pretty bright and shiny, which is why that um, beige will work just fine. It'll give a light enough base to just let it shine.
Beb, pull in a lot closer.
Sorry. Get these more in focus. Wow. 15 millimeter. Okay, those are small.
That's tiny.
That's really tiny. Um, so yeah, definitely with smaller figures, make use of contrast paints or speed paints, whatever you prefer. Um, something around contrast and how to make minis pop. Okay, so there's a lot of different ways you can kind of use to make miniatures pop. I like focusing on the face. That's the most important part. So usually, like when I do all of these, I'll start with the face and make sure that looks really good and really take my time with it so that the this one might be a better example of that. Not sure how well. Where's my focus?
Hold your hand up behind it.
Oh yeah, that does usually work. So I look at what parts really matter, and those are the ones that I focus on. So especially these for commissions, I more try and um, get through them faster because obviously the faster I go, the more money I can make. And I can't get this one to focus at all.
You should go to her website and see the one she started with.
Oh yeah, those are pretty bad.
Those don't look good at all.
So. But, all right, get those out of the way. But the big thing is you want to make sure you have contrast. That is always the big key. And I have a video coming up that will definitely help with that. Not next Saturday, not this coming Saturday, but the following Saturday is when that one's scheduled for. So definitely be on the lookout for that one. Because contrast, once you get contrast down, it's easy for the models just to pop regardless of what you're doing because you know how extreme you have to go in such a small space. Um, but you'll see with these, what I do is I focus on um, just getting the big sections out of the way with contrast paint. Got some coffee standing there. That's going to be a little bit of a pain to fix, but once I pretty much lay that down, I just go in and focus on the details so that those really look good and are nice and bright against it. Especially with Warhammer, everything's kind of so dark and grim. So if you start with the darker colors and then make the accents pop, that's really good. And also limited color palettes. Uh, you'll see that I actually, oh, let me show you my Tyranids and what I mean by that. So it might seem like a lot. This is every color.
Put the tall ones behind the short ones.
I'm working on it. So this is the entire palette for my Tyranid army that I'm working on, which is right here. So these guys. And I literally only use this, 9 colors and nothing more. Because the more you add in, the more it actually changes everything. So, the less it's cohesive. That's what I'm trying to say. So the gun is a mix between these two. It's a base coat of this with a dry brush of this. And then in the bushes is just this, literally painted in to make it look more alien. The skin tone, actually, there's an extra color here. This is not part of it. The skin is the Black Legion with a brown gray dry brush over it. The claws are this, and teeth. And the teeth don't get it, but the claws get skeleton horde over it. Yellow pops, and then we're back to the red. So keeping it limited and utilizing the same colors around helps keep it cohesive. And then the next part that I would say is, color theory is also a big part. Anytime you can use contrasting colors, so that's like red and green, they're opposite on the color wheel, you're going to get more bang for your buck, essentially, because you're adding contrast without adding light and dark contrast.
And bonus, it looks like Christmas.
Yeah, well, it can. Then there's also, purple and yellow, blue and orange. So those are really your contrasting colors. And then the more you mix those up, the more interesting. So, like maybe you'll use, instead of red with your green, you'll use magenta. So it doesn't look so Christmassy, but you're still in that reddish range. So that's another way of adding it. I have literally spent the last 3 years doing nothing but painting and all my spare time painting and studying how-tos to get better. Actually, we're at almost 4 years now.
Pretty close,
I
yeah.
think I'm starting my 4th year. So, but literally every single day. And like we actually got to the studio late today because we didn't get in here till about 2:30. But I'll be here in the studio other than dinner all the way until 11:30 tonight when I have to get ready for bed and work in the morning because I do have a full-time job as well. So, but I like letting the contrast paints really just do their thing. And I think they really do work well. Like I said, I know a lot of other professional artists don't like them, but I also think that a lot of them are scared to slather it on because they've been trained so strongly with too thin coats.
She is highly dedicated.
I don't know if it would be dedicated. I think it's more addiction. I actually, the week my dad died, I actually was very upset. I was shaking. It was not a great time, but I couldn't paint really, and of course I didn't necessarily really want to. That wasn't foremost on my mind. But by the end of the week, I was like shaking because I'm like, I just want to paint something. I need to go paint something. I haven't painted in forever. I don't know if I can still remember how to do it. That was the total feel I had. Absolutely insane. It was only a week. So.
Paint withdrawal.
So the nice thing about these kind of commissions, especially Games Workshop commissions, is that for the most part, they want me to follow the box art. So I don't really have to think about the colors to make them and how to make them look good. I just have to actually apply it. So there I'm trying to fix that coffee stain. So just adding a little bit more to smooth it out now that it's dry. All right.
There you go.
Driving me nuts, man.
Oh, I'm sorry. So sorry for your loss.
Oh. I'm so sorry. That is always a hard thing. I've actually lost both my parents already, and it is definitely not easy. So and here's another good tip that I learned. So I just whipped up a gray. Show you my wet palette here. I just took some of my black and used the beige that I'm already using to whip up a gray. And see how that's a nice rich gray? It's not as boring. That's because of all the coloring here. So it's just got some more saturation, which makes it a little more interesting. So I'm going to use that as the base for all the silver that's going to go on. Those are gold, not silver. This is the discovery phase. I'm still kind of figuring out what everything on the model is and what color it is, which is why I'm doing all the basing here. And then I'll go through and refine and make it look a little bit better.
I was actually introduced to Hawk by a friend, and I have to do some internet research here a second. I don't remember when exactly it was released, but I think I am old enough to have been around for that. Maybe not very old, but in 1980, I was 2 years old. It was a little bit before my time, but yeah, the same friend I can blame for getting me hooked on um, Monty Python and The Princess Bride and introducing me to all the great cinema of the time. Yes, according to the internet, Hawk the Slayer was released in 1980. Mandy won't watch it. I've tried to get her to watch it many times. She refuses.
I've seen bits and pieces. I like cheesy, campy 80s movies as much as anyone. My mom uh, instilled that in me. She was really into any cheesy 80s horror, but also action and adventures. And
Your mom was into slasher flicks.
oh yeah, totally. She had me watching, Nightmare on Elm Street when I was like 7 years old. Um, but she did it right. She showed me the making of where they did all the special effects, and So you saw how he was created and then put on the show. And then when I would get scared, she'd look at me and go, "You saw how they did it. You know that's fake. Why are you scared?" And so then I'd feel like an idiot. So didn't get scared so much anymore. But it worked. And so, her favorite was Killer Clowns from Outer Space. So definitely in the horror genre, but also as far as sci-fi, Beastmaster, um, Flash Gordon. My mom loved all of those. Uh, but for me, there's a limit. Beastmaster is probably as far low quality as I go.
Okay,
I think Hawk is a little bit lower.
be honest. Your favorite Beastmaster was Beastmaster 2.
I love it.
Which is no cheesier than Hawk.
Yeah, but it had the 80s element. I'm insane. I love the big hair and all the craziness of the 80s, which I didn't actually get to experience because I was, too young. So, I saw it, but a lot of that fashion, it was when I got older, I was going to be wearing that stuff. Yeah, good luck trying to find it. It's now the 90s or the 2000s, and they don't sell that anymore. And by the time it did come back in style, I wasn't around. I wasn't out of the house to buy anything, so still didn't work. But yes, he did. He has shown me clips from Hawk, and that's enough.
It's totally not.
It is. But I was the one who bought the shirt, so
It was an excellent Christmas present. I don't think I've actually ever seen The Sword and the Sorcerer. That's the one with the triple bladed sword, right?
I've heard of that.
You've heard of the three bladed sword or the Sword and Sorcerer?
Sword and the Sorcerer. I think Mom watched it.
Probably. Yeah, that's one of those that I wanted to see.
Which one?
Sword and the Sorcerer. Just never gotten around to it. I'll have to find out what service it's streaming on now. I'm sure one of them's got it. Continue my education. She didn't like Conan either. Of course, that was the snakes.
I have a extreme, extreme, extreme phobia of snakes. I can barely watch Indiana Jones, and that's only if I close my eyes and fast forward through. Luckily they only do that in like one scene per movie. Um, Extreme fear. Like if I see a picture of one, I this. I don't know if I should be sharing this.
No, I think they've gotten the point. They don't need to know how you abuse me over snakes.
No, you're talking about that. I'm talking about you guys have heard all those stories about snakes coming up from the pipes, especially in the winter, to stay warm. And so if I see a picture, I cannot go into the bathroom until he checks to make sure there's no snake hiding in the toilet. It is
Even if
that
it's 4
bad.
in the morning and I've been asleep for 3 hours.
Yep. Doesn't matter. I cannot do it. Oh no. We just had a big accident.
It's just your soda. It'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
And I didn't even grab the right color in the process.
Actually, mostly empty.
No. It's mostly on my airbrush box.
Oh, okay. Oh,
So
absorb. You want to grab your glass and I'll refill it for you?
I don't know where it went. Oh, there it is.
On the side.
a nice big nuts.
The first ever STL monthly subscription that we subscribed to for downloading for our 3D printer was Lutz a Greek Odyssey or a Planar Cruise or whatever. But the first month that we subscribed to anything, Medusa featured very heavily, and she couldn't look at it. And all of their promotional artwork was, featured the Medusa bust and the Medusa figure,
Oh,
and it drove her nuts.
hold on. Let me see if I can somehow pull up a photo of the. Oh, okay. Sorry.
Sorry about that. Thank you
Okay.
for the link to the minis, by the way. The Hawk the Slayer minis. I haven't actually gotten around to getting them, but I have every intention of it.
But yeah, basically, I got commissioned by one of my regulars. So it was someone normally something will come in and I'm like, oh, sorry, pass. I can't do that. But one of my regulars, so of course I wasn't gonna turn it down. So I bit the bullet and did it, and it turned out wonderful. Apparently, my need to make a perfect mini overcame the fear for just a little bit. But it was a pretty bad night. So, and I did try and get that done in one sitting, one day, just boom, not dealing with that any further. So, but yeah. I did paint a chibi Medusa as uh, as part of the bone reaper. Has these little Halloween um, Bonsylvanians. That's what they're called. And I had to paint the whole set.
Because you're crazy.
They're cute. I do like chibis. But anyway, so there was a Medusa in there, and I just painted them red and tried to pretend it was red hair, dreadlocks or something. And it was my first year of painting, so they weren't even that great, but it worked just fine. I managed to push through when I had to. But yeah, I do try and avoid anything that way. Can I have my reference photo, please?
Yes, you may. There it is.
There it is. Okay, so that is silver.
We got to do something about the focus there.
Ooh. Okay, let's try and bring that back a little bit.
That would be the zoom.
Yeah, I got the zoom down. Get that focus. Now it's focusing way back here.
Please stand by while we experience technical difficulties.
Okay, much better zoomed. Okay, so, whoa, there we go. Let's try that. I was painting gray and then continued on in the wrong color. Distractions, man, they're so much fun. Okay. Reference photo, please.
I'm trying to make sure you're staying in frame.
Yeah, that's a good thing. I need to stay in frame, apparently. Oh, yeah, no. Okay. Now that we're zoomed in, it matters a little more where I'm holding the mini.
Yup.
How's that? I think we're a
Yep,
little
you're
bit
good.
better there.
You bounce out every now and then, but that's okay.
So this is the fun part where I am just literally getting color on everything, making everything the color it needs to be so I can read it easier and faster when I go in and do the details. Um, So now when you do the 15 millimeter figures, I'm curious, what size brush do you use? I know everyone's always saying you got to use the bigger brush, you got to use the bigger brush, and there's something to it. I'm not saying it's wrong or bad advice, but I always go for use what's comfortable for you.
Just do like Bob Ross does his canvases, use 2-inch brush.
What? Is that you
Yeah,
saying that?
yeah.
Use a 2-inch brush?
Yeah, why not? 2-inch, 15 millimeter.
Guess it depends on how many colors you want to paint it, but sure. That could work. Okay. And with that, we've kind of got the everything base coated out. So now it's just a matter of going in and refining everything.
In case you care.
Oh, the time? Okay. Well, apparently we have been here for about an hour. I'm gonna kind of leave it up to you guys. What do you think? You want to keep going? Maybe see the finishing process, or you ready to check out? Because even if we're not streaming, I'm still going to be sitting here finishing him up. How in focus is that? Because it seems really out of focus to me.
Medium focus at best.
That. Does that help?
I don't know, I got a delay, so.
Okay. I'm going to try and come in closer here. So it's not focusing, but especially if I'm coming in to do the details, which that's what I'm doing. I want you guys to be able to see it, which I'm not sure that this camera wants to do. So what I have here is I've got a chain, and rather than painting the whole chain silver, I had painted it gray, and now I'm just kind of dabbing on the silver as highlights. So you can see I'm just kind of dotting it, and that gives it a little more depth. Sorry. But that gives it a little more depth to really kind of make it pop, because we've got the dark shading, and it was that easy and took us, what, 2 minutes?
Thanks for being here. Stay as long as you like.
Yeah, we've been excited to have you, and I am so glad that you came back. I was a little worried after I saw that you were on, that we had the wrong time. So, but that was completely our fault. So, and we will be doing this again, right?
Definitely.
So, I think we want to.
But if he was here at 3 a.m., then I'm sure he needs sleep.
Probably. I'm sure that time is much different in Scotland than in Michigan. So, even staying on the camera. There we go.
Yeah. You're doing a good job.
Okay. Luckily, I've had practice from all those pre-recorded videos. So. I'll give you one more good tip for contrast paints, especially when it comes to metallics. So we've got our silver staff here, and my little trick of gray to highlight won't work because it's such a large area. You definitely read that. So I'm going to add some depth to this a different way. And that is with Space Wolves Gray. So I'm going to use the contrast paint as a glaze over the silver. And I love using the Space Wolves because it has that blue tint that most silver weapons have. Frame anymore. There we go. There we go. And it still reads as very silver. Um, but we've kind of given it a little more depth. So anytime you can kind of use the um, contrast piece as a glaze, it's going to add just a little more depth with very little work. So anytime I have skeleton, it's always some kind of white or off-white with, of course, skeleton horde. So we're going to just slap some of this on. And gosh, I wish I could get that in better focus. But we've kind of got that skeleton color there. I apologize because this definitely has something to do with the YouTube live feature, because this is the same recording setup I use for all my tutorials. And I know that every single one of them is not out of focus. I've had several, but not every single one of them. So it will focus on them better with the same equipment.
We will have to check out Kevin.
Who's Kevin?
Kevin Dallimore and his triad method. We will have to search it out. I'm not familiar with it personally.
Yeah, no. Is that like a triad, like Reaper triads? Where they have the 3 colors already set out for you?
Or does he mix them himself, base color with a little bit of black and then a little bit of white or whatever contrast?
Oh, okay. See, I don't really like triads because I don't like that kind of limitation. Reaper has some triads, and I have them. I have several of them, like fire red goes with um, hearth fire, and I don't know. Where's the other one that it goes with? Ah, there it is. It's in the wrong spot. Candlelight yellow. So I believe like all 3 of these are in a triad together, and it's nice. And I think that's great for beginners. But I find that kind of thing very limiting, and sometimes I want something very different. So I like the flexibility and being able to kind of use maybe some underpainting or something like that to make a different result with the same thing. Um, so going back to my Tyranids here, there we go. Just by adding a quick 30-second dry brush on the guns, we made those look so much different than the bushes that use the same colors. So I can go quicker just manipulating the colors I'm using with a limited palette. And I feel like the piece then overall works so cohesively because they are the same colors over and over again. Um, but that also comes down to personal preference and what your style is. It's all art. So
There's a lot of nice stuff on his site, though.
oh, he's got a really good clean look. We're checking out Kevin's site now. Really nice, clean paint job. I've never seen him before. So thank you. Definitely check him out. A lot of things for great inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
I really love that Predator. That
Mm-hmm.
he's got a Predator with this green skin with this blue gray color over it. Really good color combination. Um, Gold. That's what I'm looking for.
Darktron69 says hello. Hello back.
Oh, hello. Hi. I'm looking up there. I can see the chat features better up here on the TV rather than I can even in the phone, and the phone's in front of me. So
You're a little
sorry.
low.
Oh, there we go. So hello, how are you doing? Are you working on anything cool? And everything went quiet.
We all fell into a companionable silence.
Yes. Yes, I did. I remember those. How are you?
She does have a little bit of Bob Ross in her.
We've commented on that ourselves while editing some of the videos. I it, I find myself very boring, and then I watch the editing. I'm like, I sound like Bob Ross, just that calm and oh here and there, and I'm not trying to do that. I'm actually trying to do the opposite because I'm actually a very animated person. But I just can't come across that way for some reason in a tutorial. I'm not painting on camera anymore. Um, but yeah, that is kind of the same thing that I do where I just kind of get everything down and then figure it all out as I go and just kind of keep working until I'm happy with it. I figure if I'm happy with it, then my buyer is going to be. So that's my ultimate goal. Is just to kind of make myself happy with it. And I absolutely love painting. We were talking about earlier how it's an addiction to me. So,
I'm so sorry for your grandpa. I hope things get better.
oh, I'm so sorry. This is our second death conversation in this stream. We really, yeah, it's apparently been very rough for a lot of people lately. So I am very sorry. That's always terrible when there's a loss in the family. Um, so I am sorry for your loss.
Or you could send them to Mandy. She'll get them painted.
For what?
He says he's got more models that need painting.
Yeah. I think that's what he means. 'Cause
Oh,
we had
that could
already
be it.
talked about him sending
Oh.
them to me. So he's just probably explaining why hasn't yet, but that's okay. Don't worry about it.
No rush. She'll get you taken care of.
I actually currently feel like I'm behind on all my commissions because we had a flood last weekend in the studio. And so I lost probably about like 4 days of painting. Drove me nuts because, like I said, I'm addicted to it. So it was really, really bad for me. Plus, what's the opposite of a procrastinator? That's what I am. I can't procrastinate. He's always trying to get me to do it. Oh, you've got time. Don't worry. Your commission's not due for 3 weeks. And I can't. I do my work. And then when I'm done with my work, that's when I get to have fun. That's my personality. So, yeah, so don't worry because I've been stressing about, you know, the commissions I already have, and granted for no good reason because yes, all of my buyers are fantastic and they all understood, and we're very okay with a little delay in updates because miniature painting people are the best. Whether you're buying them, playing with the miniatures, um, this community is just the best. So everyone's been very great about it.
She's not a procrastinator. She's just a crastinator. Precrastinator?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Uncrastinator. Decrastinator.
Oh. I actually think one of my bosses, old bosses, told me they took a class on different work personality types, and they said they never understood me until they took the class and found out that I am the efficiency type. I seem cold and uninterested in anything else because I'm focused on my work. And then when it's done, then I can have fun and relax and joke around with my coworkers, but not until the work's done. And it's like, yeah, that's me. That's my personality for sure. I'll own that one. So, but yeah, threw her off for the longest time. She thought I was just,
You're drifting out of frame.
I saw. She just thought I was just rude and unfriendly. Like, no, I promise I'm not. Can I have my reference photo?
Yes.
I never based out the gun.
Well, it's a gun.
Yeah, but it still needs white and black. So, you guys ever get hairs? Or is that just us with our cats? With the flood, they actually managed to make it in here because we had to air it out. So. Um, but also, then there's my own hair. So even if they're not allowed in here, I still end up with hairs, especially because mine's so long. What am I missing? What am I missing?
Others giggling about the cats. Maybe one of these days we'll show them all off if we can chase them all down.
Yeah, we have 5 of them, so we just don't allow them in the studio, and since that's where we do most of the recording, they haven't made it into any of our videos or anything. Although one tried to, the video that we're releasing next on Saturday, one tried to get into that one. He just didn't do a good job, so that ended up edited out. So.
Yeah, don't have any personal experience with dialysis, but Mandy watches enough medical shows that we know it's not fun.
No, definitely not. Oh, 3 days. Oh, 3 per week. That's even rougher. Yeah, that's pretty bad. So, well, I hope he does get better. And that, at least he can maybe not be in so much pain and stuff. So. But yeah, my guilty pleasure is Grey's Anatomy. I don't usually tell anyone that I watch that, but
Oh, you just told the world.
yeah, I did. That's okay. Definitely wasn't on my bucket list this morning.
Thank you.
Oh,
She appreciates that.
Yes, I really do.
It looks even better in reality when it's in focus. So.
Right? I really wish I could get this in focus for you guys. Let's see. Does that help any with the focus? No. It just really does not want to focus. So I'm gonna have to figure that out before the next live stream, but we'll get that sorted. And like I said, I didn't expect that to be the problem because this is the same camera phone that I record all my tutorials on, and it usually will focus really sharply on it.
Thank you. I will not let her live that down.
That is a point. I'm not going to say that's a fair point or a good point, but it is a point.
It's a very fair point.
I will say the other weird thing is, so I've got the camera in front of me that's recording my face, and the camera in front of me here that's recording the painting, and they each have different section on top and bottom. So over here, the painting's on top, and over there, my face is on top, and it's a little weird. And then up here, they're side by side. So it's just a different view every which way I look right now, which is a little disconcerting, but that's okay. I feel like we're not doing too bad for our first time.
I think we're doing well.
And as long as we're having fun, that's the important thing. That's what I really want the channel to be, and that's kind of the whole point. So.
Yeah, we'll have to get out your backdrop for next time.
Oh, that is probably actually. Let's see if we can. This is my airbrush
Box.
box. Hold that. I just got silver all over my hands now. A very, very messy painter, in case you hadn't noticed my hands. And this one's all sorts of gray. But does that help? Slightly. Slightly. We can work with that. That's at least better. Good call. Thank you very much. Okay. So, all right, we're coming near to done on this guy, except got just a few more touch-ups and special little points to, as you guys pointed out, make it all come together. First off, some fun agrax. Get those details showing. I am absolutely obsessed with agrax. What do you guys think of the new Null oil? Has anybody tried the new one yet compared to the old one? When I first started out, actually like the first two years I was painting, I could not find Null oil anywhere. Well, I mean, I could find it online, but you know, my local store didn't have any, and this, that, and the other. So I kind of got on the Null oil a little late, and by the time I got it, I got it, spilled the entire thing
Rite
when
of passage.
opening it. Got another one, finally got to try it, and I am not kidding. I fell in love with it instantly for what it was doing. And then the very next week, they announced the new one, and it was all out in the stores. And I do not like it. It is not the same. It does not do the same effects. At least in my opinion, I just do not like it. Oh, I'm off camera again. So I don't know. I'd love to know what you guys think.
We haven't used a bunch of the Vallejo washes, have we?
No, you know, I gotta say honestly, I will show you why I'm not a fan of Vallejo. And I know it's me. Okay, so sorry, we're gonna move the camera here. I don't mean to make anyone nauseous, but I want you to be able to see my palette. Now this is a wet palette that I've been using. You can tell you can see the whole time I've been using it, these are all still perfectly good. Oh, this one, that's not the one. Well, I'm not going to find a Vallejo. Where's one of my Vallejos? I only have a few because I have such trouble with them. We'll try this one. Oh, no. A little too much coming out there. So that one, but actually, this is going to be a real good example. because I have the same problem with pro acrylic and Army Painter. But to be fair, Army Painter changed their recipe, so I don't have that. I don't know about the new ones. Oh, this one's probably not even open yet. This one is. Really? There it goes. Okay. So pretty much what happens is, an amount of time for me to take it and paint. I'm going to just take a little, this is my little sample thing here. It needs some paint on it. This is how I test out my glazes and stuff to make sure that it's going to work right. It's not going to do it now. It's because I put it on camera for everyone to see, and now it's not going to do it. Yeah, no, it's still good. All right. Typically, by now, it would be all dry and hard and crusty. And actually, I can show you exactly what that looks like, because this is that from yesterday. And, these are from 3-4 days ago. I don't expect those to actually be good anymore. But these purple ones were literally dry within 3 minutes, 4 minutes of pouring. Yeah, it's not going to do that now. Now that I put it on camera. Oh my gosh.
Such is the way of things.
Wants to make me a liar. Here, this is the one I had trouble with yesterday. Let's try that. See if that actually does the same problem. And one of the reasons that I do want to show it is because I would love to find out what I'm doing wrong, because millions of people swear by these paint ranges. So is it my environment? Is it my wet palette? Is it what's going on that I have this problem? And I mean, and it's not just the wet palette. If I do it on the dry palette, because I actually bought an entire set of Army Painters, and I love the coverage of them. But when I have to pour paint every other minute, it doesn't do me any good. So they just sit there until I just need one quick dab of this. I'll just waste the Army Painter. So that's what I do. And there we go. You can already see that it's starting to clump. Still not looking too bad, but
Makes sense.
more European market. There you go. So that could be it. Anyway, I'm gonna go back to actual painting.
Everybody knows about the Scottish dank.
Scottish Day.
I don't know.
I never heard of it that way.
Scottish damp.
Actually, most of what I hear about Scotland is just how beautiful it is. So that is one of those places we would like to go.
Very much so.
How did I get red on this? Probably because it's all over me.
You've got red on you.
I do. A lot of it. Okay, so we're gonna let that dry. Not the right brush. Let's try again. There we go. Okay. That way. Oh, that's why. Sorry, guys, I gotta move the camera back up. That's why you're not seeing my painting. Oh, there you go. There he is. All right, so we're really getting down to the end here. Looking him over. I have some cleanup over here that needs to be done. I've got the purity seals and the banner over here and the gold to fix. But otherwise, contrast paint has done its job and really made that look sharp. I'd probably come in and do some white dry brushing on the bones just because they're kind of fading into the gold a little bit. So basically finishing details is just polishing up and then yeah. I'm not usually that bad. I don't usually make that much of a mess. Usually. It does happen occasionally though, so. So now I'm just coming in and doing a little detail. Oh gosh, I wish you guys could see that because it's actually looking really nice. So that is all the text on the scribbles or on the purity banners. And then, yeah, so just basically I just keep going with these kind of little details until it looks great and I'm happy with it. Oh, that is way too much. So we should be finishing up. I'm gonna say maybe another 15-20 minutes and everything but his base will be done. So this one needs to be fixed up first. And you got very quiet.
I'm sorry, you've been keeping them entertained well yourself.
Have I?
Seems to be.
Been entertaining. I do hope. I mean, I can't guarantee another soda spill. Sorry. I mean, that thing, I feel like it went flying. Probably not in the best place to tell that, but
It is in the details. That's what Mandy has to keep reminding me when I'm building my terrain. I was building a cliff in a scene in front of a cliff face, and I put in some big boulders, that had relatively big boulders that had fallen off the wall. Mandy had to remind me that I needed, some smaller stuff and some gravel and some sand and you know, remember all the little pieces. I'm not a detail person. That's why I don't paint minis. That and I can't see.
you can't. It's actually funny. Um, Go ahead. You're the optician. You tell them about the eyes
What? Tell them that you see 2015 and I see 2025.
after corrections. My eyesight is not good naturally, but it can be fixed.
It's a
So we
heck of a
always
lot better
joke,
than mine is naturally.
because I have better with correction. I have better than 20/20 vision, which helps, especially something like this, where, um, I mean, honestly, most of the time I paint like this, so I'm nice and close. But when I'm painting on camera, it has to be like way back here. So I'm like 3 feet, 2 feet from the mini, which is weird.
Hey, the term giant is very subjective.
What's
And if the thing you're paying most attention to while watching Hawk is why the giant is only a couple inches taller than everybody else, you're watching the movie for the wrong reasons.
There we go.
See, but now you have a new and different fan request to live up to.
Oh,
Now you have fans who want to make sure that you see the glory that is Hawk. And I appreciate that, guys, because she is very focused on giving the fans what they want. So I might just be able to make this happen.
really?
It's an awesome movie.
I've seen enough clips to know that's not true.
Then you're watching it wrong.
I'm watching it with my eyes that are better than yours.
Shut up.
Okay. Um, Banner here. What should we write on the banner?
He's a chaplain for the Emperor.
I have this much room to write. I kind of need a word. And one that is
What did we put on? What did you put on the other one?
well, one was a from the blood drinker sect, so I put blood. The other one, I don't remember.
Duty.
Duty. Yep,
There you go.
that's
Duty.
the one.
I mean, duty.
That's my husband. Yeah, that looks terrible.
Scotland likes
Yeah.
honor.
Oh, that's a good one too.
And since you said you didn't, apparently you messed up duty.
I really did. I actually have to start over again.
She's probably going to spell it different.
The European spelling versus the American spelling.
They like extra letters.
Yes. Well, the only reason I actually am a little bit of a history buff. The only reason it was changed in America was because of classified ads, because it's cheaper based on letter.
Oh. It's a fan request. You have to do it.
I can't. It's commission. I would if it was mine, but that's really not going to make sense for the figure. So
Maybe it's his name or the name of his.
I think I'm going to stick with duty because it is so small, but I'm going to try and come in closer so that I can see better while trying to keep it on camera for you guys, at least a little bit. So this is going to be hard. That's terrible. That's not so bad. Okay, that's workable. Just a little bit of fixing up. There we go. I wish you guys could see that better, but it actually does say duty, and you can read it.
Duty.
So there he is, all done. Real hard to see, but if you guys are on my social media, I will be posting him there probably later this week or next week. I obviously have to finish his base, which I'll do tonight off camera. And then one more. We've got one more, and that is the white.
Bjorn. Bjorn who fell
Yes.
on his hand.
Yeah, I love that long coat too. Ben has one.
I do have one.
I gave it to him for Christmas twice.
No.
Yeah, I gave you.
Oh.
I gave you the coat like 20 years ago for Christmas, and then like 5 years ago, I got you a new one. Your coat, your long coat.
I thought I bought the green one.
The green one was from when we were first dating.
Yeah.
Actually, when I was terrified of him.
Long story.
But yeah, no.
Twice 20 years apart. 20 years to get out of a coat is pretty good.
Right. So yeah, I got it. Basically, got him a new coat like 20 years ago, and then, he got his use out of it, and then the coat was gone. It no longer fit. It was torn. It was destroyed, in some shape or form. Maybe it was lost in the fire even.
We'll put that on the next live feed.
Yeah. But that's it. So yeah, like I said, once I get this one finished and get both of them based, then I'll be able to get the approval for the commissions and then get them out and posted for you guys to see. And then you'll be able to see the nice duty, nice and clearly in focus. Maybe this camera will actually focus on it better. What do you think?
I don't know. There's a delay.
Yeah, all I'm seeing is backlit, so definitely not. No good there.
I do not have two thin coats.
That is awesome.
Congratulations, you win the live stream.
That's for sure. All right. But I think we're going to wrap it up. We've been on here for quite a while, and thank you so much for staying and keeping us entertained and such a great time. We'll definitely be doing this again, so look for that. And that's it. Anything else you want to say?
I mean, we could do our tagline, but that seems cheesy.
Well, it's up to you. We're a little bit cheesy. We like Hawk.
Have a great afternoon. We'll see you later.
Bye, everyone. Thanks again.